House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in Singapore this morning, kicking off her Asian tour as questions swirl over a possible stop in Taiwan. Those questions have fueled some tension with Beijing. Pelosi has been widely discouraged against the visit, but whether or not she will make that stop is still unclear. ABC's Deputy Political Director, Averi Harper, joins me live now to help unpack this a little bit. So, Averi, what is on Pelosi's agenda for this trip right now?
Right. So we know that Speaker Pelosi landed in Singapore. She is slated to meet with the President and Prime Minister of Singapore, other officials there. It's important to note that there's very little that we do know about her movements because there are no reporters on this trip. So we're kind of getting the drip of information about where she's going to head.
Now, if she does, in fact, decide to make this stop in Taiwan, what would that do for U.S.-China relations?
Right. So we know that China's foreign ministry has issued stern warnings about any U.S. officials meeting with Taiwan. We know that in a recent call with President Biden and his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, he said that visiting Taiwan would be playing with fire. But this morning, we know that the White House is defending whatever Speaker Pelosi decides to do, saying that any U.S. official should be able to visit Taiwan safely without fear of intimidation of China's rhetoric.
Let's move on to Congress now. The Inflation Reduction Act. What's in it? What's the plan? And what's the status right now?
Right. So this is a massive piece of legislation. This is a deal, a surprise deal that came about between Chuck Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin. It includes things that are central to Joe Biden's agenda, things like reforming the tax code, like addressing climate change, finding ways to lower the price of health care and combat some of those inflationary pressures, excuse me. But we do not know what's going to happen. There are expectations that it should pass, but we know that Senator Kyrsten Sinema has not said whether or not she is going to support this legislation. And Democrats need every single Democrat to be on board in lockstep in order to get this passed. So there are a lot of anxious Democrats waiting to see what happens.
And so going back to what Dr. Brownstein and I were just talking about, President Biden retesting positive for COVID-19, are there any special precautions happening at the White House now as a result of that?
Right. Well, we know that President Biden is back in isolation, and this could really have a political impact. The president was supposed to be traveling to Michigan today to tout the CHIPS bill, a policy win for him. And if that massive legislation that we talked about a little bit earlier is passed, he could be in isolation and not be able to take the victory lap that he wants to be able to tout this win.
All right. Averi Harper, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.